Everyone is playing the waiting game, and it could be set to get even longer. Traders around the world want to know the outcome of a German court ruling on rescue and fiscal measures for the Eurozone.
That's due on Wednesday, but someone's thrown a spanner into the works. A member of the Chancellor's own coalition has asked the Constitutional Court to invest more time in reaching a verdict.
Yeah, and the irony is that the German Chancellor herself championed this disputed changes on how the bloc should be run. The opposition is jumping on this one.
The court is reviewing the request that it postpone its long-awaited ruling on whether to let the ESM bailout fund pass into law. Conservative parliamentarian Peter Gauweiler filed the request in light of the European Central Bank's announcement last week that it will buy unlimited amounts of bonds from troubled Eurozone countries. For the far left, too, it's reason for a rethink.
If the European Central Bank goes this way, we won't need a bailout mechanism. The bank itself will do the bailing out, and it won't have to consult any parliament.
The ECB's decision to buy up bonds has raised fears that national parliaments will be sidelined and that the ECB will call the shots on financial policy in Eurozone states. The president of the German parliament tried to ease those fears.
Whatever justifiable objections may be raised regarding individual measures, what is certain is that it will definitely remain subject to parliamentary debate and consideration.
Germany's opposition Greens have defended the bank's decision. They say Chancellor Merkel failed to contain the euro crisis by acting too slowly. For them, Gauweiler's appeal is an indictment of his own coalition government.
He can't personally bring action against Merkel, but he should be attacking her, saying that she should finally put a proper system in place.
A more effective system is what everyone in the German parliament is calling for to resolve the Eurozone crisis. Only there's no agreement as to what that might be.
Athens admits it's having trouble convincing international inspectors about its latest austerity package. The plan is vital in unlocking urgent aid payments. But a senior Greek official says the inspectors are demanding bolder cuts to the public sector.
The inspectors from the EU, ECB and IMF are not satisfied with the plan, and a meeting with Prime Minister Antonis Samaras Monday didn't help. His government's austerity measures are too vague, they say. They want to see more cuts in public sector spending and civil service jobs, something the government wants to avoid.
The talks are tough because these are difficult decisions. We're trying to convince them that our arguments are correct.
Reports say Greece's plan falls €2 billion short and that the coalition government is divided about where the extra cuts should be made to meet the austerity package targets. The Socialist and Democratic left, in coalition with the Prime Minister's centre-right New Democracy Party, want to prevent further cuts to pensions and public sector pay. They say boosting the tax yield by pursuing tax dodgers will bring the missing cash. Samaras says there's no way around cuts to wages and pensions. He's to present his proposals to European Central Bank President Mario Draghi on Tuesday. Time is running out. On Friday, the EU finance ministers are set to meet in Cyprus. And Greece will be expected to lay out its plan to achieve €11.5 billion in savings.
I asked our correspondent in Athens, Brian Williams, if the government can deliver on the Troika's demands.
Well, as you mentioned in your report, the finance minister has said that the negotiations are very difficult. The sticking points seem to be that the two left-wing members of the coalition government are very opposed to new cuts hitting pensioners and people who they say are least likely to be able to cope with any new austerity measures. Also, 1 in 4 Greeks are employed in the civil service, and both of those parties also believe there should be no more firing of civil servants.
Because of that disunity within the coalition, is there a risk it could fall apart?
Well, indeed. I mean, hanging over all these negotiations is the question, if the government does come up with a series of measures that they say to the Troika, this is it, this is what they are, the Troika says, yes, that sounds great, then they have to get those measures through Parliament. And it's been very interesting in the last couple of days. the opinion polls have shown that all three members of the coalition government have lost support. So at the moment, I think you're getting maybe a lot of political posturing going on, if you like, of people, politicians saying they oppose the measures.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much for the update.
And of course, the situation in Athens and the courtroom drama here in Germany are both being watched very closely by the markets. Our correspondent Jens Korda has more from New York.
Yeah, also on Wall Street, traders are highly waiting what is going to happen in Germany on Wednesday. Hardly anybody really expects any bad surprises, but there is also no guarantee for it. So traders are cautious ahead of Wednesday, and then on top of it, on Thursday, the Federal Reserve is going to meet for the next time, and that could be the last chance for Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke to announce some monetary measures, for example, starting another multi-billion-dollar treasury buying program. If that is going to happen, also nobody knows. So there is a lot of uncertainty all week long, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least till Thursday action is muted before traders get all the answers they need to maybe decide to buy more stocks.
Let's get a closer look at those market numbers for you now. We start first in Europe, where Germany's benchmark DAX not doing a whole lot on the day, settling unchanged at 72.13. Similar story for the Euro Stoxx 50. Over in New York, as Jens Korda just mentioned, Dow Jones Industrial Average closing slightly lower at 13,254. As for the euro, gaining against the dollar at $1.2765.